with her real mother. Her
Wait, her
iCarly
mom
Pam,
is the
was
same.
irresponsible.
Ties into her real life.
I know who I am.
It kind of ties into her.
I love you.
Wow, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. Like, wait. Did you just click on my video? Ah, that's dope. That's dope. God bless. I hope you're having a good day. Let's get to the video. Roll it. I've been curious about this for years. I've heard about the story, but not fully. Hopefully, Patrick dives into this fully 32-minute video. Come on, man. I need to hear it all.
Most popular live-action show in
Jeanette McCurdy?
Nickelodeon history.
I thought this show was fine. Y'all know about Icarly.
And Jennette McCurdy appeared to be great friends, and they were. However, Jennette was suffering, and nobody
Then she went out with Andre Drummond. That shit was random as hell, boy.
knew about it. Jennette was forced into acting by an abusive mother who did things you would not wish on your worst enemy, but she couldn't escape because on set she was being manipulated by a powerful Nickelodeon showrunner.
Stop laughing at the director. Show some respect, Jennette. Respect. No smiling. All right. Take $100 off her check.
Miranda, on the other hand, was raised in a loving home with parents who worked hard to keep her emotionally secure. Without realizing it, Miranda became a part of a story far more tragic than she could have imagined, and the choices she made would change Jennette's life forever. This is the dark side of iCarly, how one young girl thrived while the other barely survived. Jennette's life started out as nothing short of hell on earth. Born in Southern California to a poor Mormon family, Jennette grew up witnessing her mom, Deborah McCurdy, battle stage 4 breast cancer. After learning about her diagnosis, Deborah became a hoarder, attaching meaning and significance to even the tiniest objects. Their home quickly became suffocated by overwhelming piles of random stuff. It got so bad that Jennette and her brothers could no longer sleep in their own bedrooms and had to resort to gymnastic mats laid on the floor in the living room. It really did not feel like a home. It felt like a place of chaos and of turmoil and turbulence. Jennette's mother always dreamed of being an actor, so she projected her own unattainable aspirations onto her daughter. And despite her daughter being a shy and uncomfortable performer, she was clearly a promising young talent, making guest appearances on Mad TV, CSI, Malcolm in the Middle, and Law & Order. Deborah's need for control went beyond strict parenting and managing her daughter's acting career. It was an all-consuming obsession that dictated every facet of Jennette's existence. She would shower Jennette for her until she was 11, oftentimes putting Jennette and her 16-year-old.
This reminds me of what's his name, Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson's father, and how, well, he didn't abuse them, but he worked the hell out of them. Jennette's a really good actor. I'm not saying this is right. This is not right, but you know, it's like, I'm sure she would have rather went another route. She didn't care about the fame or the money, and she would have rather just went another route, and maybe she would have still been great. But I look at it from a masculine perspective, so I'm less emotional about it. But I feel like, take the abuse out the way, made Jennette a really fucking good actor.
That's brother in the shower together. She shaved her legs for her and performed routine breast and vaginal exams on Jennette to check her for cancer. Her mom even taught her how to restrict her calories in an attempt to delay puberty and appear younger to land more jobs, essentially encouraging Jennette to become anorexic.
So I asked if there was a way that I could stop the boobies from coming in, and she told me, well, there's a thing called calorie restriction. Wow. And it became our sort of secret and our code, and something that, as disturbing as it is, really bonded us. Right. It was our thing. Yep. No one else got this thing. We got this thing. I can look at you from across the room and know you got me and I got you. And we were just in the disease, in the sickness, but there was a connection that the sickness created that I, of course, couldn't see at the time.
Her favorite foods soon became sugar-free popsicles, applesauce, and unsweetened iced tea, and her dinners often consisted of iceberg lettuce with dressing spray and ripped up pieces of low-calorie bologna. This also made for a confusing dynamic, as Jennette's character on iCarly was obsessed with food, constantly indulging in binge eating, which to her almost felt like a mockery of her real life. But again, nobody knew what Jennette's mother was doing to her. Not only was she a malnourished child, but she also dealt with the same stresses of adult actors on set.
That's a good question. I remember I would cry on several occasions when it just felt like it really got to be too much, and I'd tell my mom, I don't want to do this anymore, but she would either say, like, Net, you don't mean that, or she'd say, well, we need this. So there were kind of two different arguments that she would hit me back with, and then I'd feel guilty. and you know would keep doing it.
Which is why when she landed the role of Sam Puckett on
Damn, that
iCarly
smile
at
is
age
fake as hell.
14, she thought it would be a breakthrough moment. Everything's going to be better. Mom will finally be happy. Her dream has come true. Unfortunately, iCarly was not going to be the saving grace that Jennette had hoped for. But the one bright spot was the close friendship she formed with her co-star, Miranda Cosgrove.
Really?
Unlike Jennette, Miranda's parents never intended to force their child into the entertainment industry. An agent discovered Cosgrove at a Los Angeles food festival with her parents. Her mother, Chris, inspected the business card but remained hesitant to put her child in front of the
Look at her. She's white there. Oh, she looked just like us. That's adorable.
camera. So they started off slow, first getting her appearances in Burger King commercials
I
and
remember
then
that.
occasionally auditioning for theater and television roles. However, Miranda's life drastically changed after securing her film debut in the comedy
I did not
School
watch
of
that.
Rock. The film stars Jack Black as Dewey Finn, a down-on-his-luck musician who poses as a substitute teacher at a prestigious prep school. He then discovers his students are musically talented and secretly turns them into a rock band to compete in the Battle of the Bands. Cosgrove plays the role of Summer Hathaway, the hilariously uptight and naive band manager.
What's the matter?
You want me to be a groupie?
Well, groupie's an important job.
I research groupies on the internet. They're sluts. They sleep with a band.
School of Rock was unanimously loved by fans and critics, grossing over $131 million at the worldwide box office. Miranda performed
Pretty
the role
good.
of a bossy yet charmingly smug child so well that it made her the obvious choice for the role of Megan Parker in the legendary Nickelodeon teen sitcom.
Oh my goodness, I forgot she was on Drake and Josh. That's my show though. Like I'm not even thinking about the what?
Drake and Josh. But Miranda didn't even understand how
Megan. What the hell? Why didn't that hit
massive
me?
this opportunity was. When I really understood I was acting, since I did it from the time I was so little, I never thought of it as a job, and I didn't realize that everybody didn't do it. Miranda was so innocent, not even knowing she was working, compared to Jennette, who became painfully aware
man,
of her
that's
reality as her mother taught her how to starve herself to secure more acting roles to pay the bills. It's shocking to learn of Miranda's innocence, considering her character on Drake and Josh was borderline evil. Drake and Josh aired on Nickelodeon from 2004 to 2007
Man, what
and
a
follows two
simpler
teenage
time.
boys who become stepbrothers after their parents get married. The two
Yeah.
boys could not be more opposite. However, they would bond in fear of their cunning and mischievous little sister, Megan. Megan takes great pleasure
Megan was Drake's real sister. Josh wasn't related to her.
in tormenting her older brothers.
What makes you think that I would
They're
have the
stepbrothers.
baby?
Because you're a devious, twisted little girl.
Why, thank you, Drake.
While she appears sweet and innocent to adults, she is secretly always
Bro, she
plotting
did
elaborate
have
schemes
that.
to
I remember
outsmart
that.
Drake and Josh.
No way.
And I remember they found it too. They found her. I remember it was like an episode where they finally caught her and they found all her stuff. I might have to go back and watch
Hustle
that.
me.
No, I didn't. I just pretended to be bad so that you'd bet me, and then I stopped being bad and I took your money.
That's hustling.
There's a word for it? Cool.
Miranda's devious charm helped solidify Drake and Josh as the most beloved and influential live-action sitcom on
Yeah, man.
Nickelodeon at
Great
the
show.
time, drawing in millions of viewers per episode, peaking at 5.8 million viewers for its highest-rated special. Miranda's parents were wary of the impact that fame could have on their daughter, so they did everything they could to maintain a normal lifestyle, such as choosing to still live in the house where Miranda was born, and her father continuing to work every day at his dry cleaning business. Her parents
Okay.
also tried to keep Miranda in public school.
In elementary school, I just remember thinking, wow, I'm popular. All of a sudden, I don't think I was thinking about it too much. And I remember, like, the kid that I had a crush on who didn't know I existed all of a sudden talked to me. Like, it was, I think I just thought things were coming up roses.
However, by the time she reached 6th grade, her acting schedule clashed with her education, and Miranda needed to make a huge decision. It took a lot for my mom to give in. I remember her asking, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to stay in acting?" And also noticed that 10 and 11-year-old Miranda Cosgrove actually had a choice, something that most other child actors don't have. She ultimately chose to pursue acting and leave a normal life behind. Miranda immediately transitioned to private schooling on
Was a good
set
decision.
with Drake and Josh.
I remember when I was when I was doing schooling, at first you guys were with me. And then within 6
Oh, she's talking to
months,
Josh.
you both were no longer. I don't remember if it was because you graduated or if it was because...
God,
I
that's
kept
so
saying
good.
to my mom, where did Drake and Josh go?
Kevin the teacher, you remember?
They literally use their real names in the show. Am I wrong? Hold on. Josh Peck, Josh Nichols, Drake Bell, Drake Parker.
Remember Kevin?
Oh, Kevin Mall. I remember him, yes.
Kevin Mall.
Mall. He used to make me raise my hand. I was the only one when you guys left in the class.
She's an adult now. Would it be weird if she like went out with Josh or went out with Drake? Just hypothetically. Would that be weird? No, it wouldn't fucking be weird. Y'all niggas is weird.
True.
Prawn,
They made you raise your
addictive,
hand? Only one in
sexually
the
driven
classroom?
world.
Yes, he said he was preparing me if
would
I ever
not
had
be
to
weird.
go back to regular school.
Most child actors in Miranda's position, like Jeanette, feel extremely isolated, missing out on normal childhood experiences while they spend long hours on set under the intense
that is
pressure
sis,
to
though.
perform. Their social circles are typically limited to co-stars, adults, and industry professionals, which never gives them a break from essentially this made-up fantasy world they live in. But Miranda's parents made key decisions that set her on a much different path than Jeanette. The California Labor Code, Section 1308.5, requires that a parent or legal guardian be present at all times when a minor is working in the entertainment industry. Since Miranda's mom was always hovering around her on set, she kept her in check. In one instance, Miranda unintentionally ignored someone leaving her dressing room, and her mother made sure she acknowledged their presence and said goodbye. "Miranda," Chris said sharply, "someone said goodbye to you." Cosgrove stopped short and turned around. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she said earnestly. "Goodbye. It was nice to meet you." It may seem small, but
No, that's a
enforcing
big
normal
impact.
social rules and instilling discipline into a child who could have easily
they'll
turned
remember
into
that
a
forever.
diva is likely what helped Miranda become so normal.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably.
Whoa!
Drake and Josh ended when Miranda was just 14 years old, with plenty of years ahead of her and obvious star power as a child actor.
Bro, it's like so weird. Probably. And then they cut it out.
Nickelodeon had no choice but to
I
build a
even
new
cut it out
show
when I just
around
said it.
Miranda.
Probably.
That
I don't
show
wanna
would bring
say it.
together two young girls who were living drastically different lives behind the scenes.
And Miranda probably
Dan
didn't even know
Schneider,
this stuff.
who was
Look
the
at this
head
nigga.
producer, writer, and creator
I
at
know this is.
Nickelodeon, originally planned to create a show where Miranda plays a normal girl who gets cast to star in her favorite TV show called Starstruck. However, he would ultimately scrap the idea and begin the development for Icarly, a show about a group of teenagers running their own online web show, long before YouTubers and social media influencers became household names.
We're gonna make spaghetti tacos.
Spaghetti tacos.
Edition
Damn,
presented
look
by
at
my brother
Miranda.
Spencer, whose real name is Letitia McPeanuts.
Icarly was way ahead of its time because it predicted the rise
I
of
said,
online
bro.
entertainment and showed how young people could build an audience outside of
What was
traditional
her name?
media
Sam and Carly.
platforms.
Sam, Carly,
Icarly
Freddie.
also had a real website where they asked fans to submit content and participate in
They had a
challenges.
real
The show's humor,
website?
quirky characters, and fast-paced storytelling feels like you are watching a kids-oriented YouTube channel or a Twitch show, except with an unreasonable amount of foot jokes.
And this week we found the
That
biggest
nigga had a foot fetish. I remember.
weirdo yet. There he is, peeling a banana while he waits for the bus.
I remember this.
Now, you think he's gonna eat the banana, right? Well, think again. Yep, there he goes. Doing the peel, what a freak. And that's why the new champion of Who's That Weirdo in My Neighborhood is Crazy Fruit Dude!
Miranda portrayed a character that was similar to her real-life personality, sweet, wholesome, and silly. Jeanette's character, Sam, almost hit a little too close to home. Sam Puckett was known for her tough, no-nonsense attitude, sarcastic humor, and rebellious spirit.
And Freddie bagged it. I remember, yo, Freddie bagged both. Hey, ha ha. It took look. He bagged Carly when they were kids, and then he bagged her on the new show, and then they get married. I ain't watch it. Sometimes it just takes time. Niggas win in the end. Freddie won in the end.
Cafeteria for slapping Gibby with a piece of pizza.
Why did you slap Gibby with a piece of pizza?
I found it on the floor. I wasn't gonna eat it.
However, the writers included a darker side to Sam, making her one of the most complex characters on the show. She can definitely be seen as problematic and borderline toxic at times, frequently
bully.
resorting to physical violence, which could make her seem like a straight-up bully.
I don't see a car. All I hear is a lot of prattle. And
She can also be manipulative, pressuring Carly into decisions that could get her friend in trouble.
I mean, bro, ain't that females anyway? Don't they do that? What do you call it?
But looking beneath that layer, you can also see Sam as a victim of
What do
self-destruction.
you call it?
destructive behavior, especially considering her
peer pressure
relationship with her
peer pressure.
mom, which again, I should remind you that nobody knew her struggles with her real mother. Her
Wait, her
iCarly
mom
Pam,
is the
was
same-
irresponsible and often absent. Sam was constantly locked out of her house, finding her own food, and was clearly lacking guidance, which may have forced Sam to develop a tough exterior.
It ties into her real life.
I know who I am.
It kind of ties into her.
I love you, Mother.
Wow, that's so crazy. That is so great. Like, they're literally, it's just coming. It's almost like the damn the creator knew what was going on behind closed doors.
Well, what, you think I don't love you? You never say it. Well, it's not easy to say I love you to a daughter who thinks I'm, you know, scummy.
I don't think you're scummy. All the time.
Really?
Yeah, really.
iCarly is considered by many to be the greatest Nickelodeon live-action show in history, and the numbers would agree. The series averaged over 6 million viewers at its peak, and the most watched episode, I Saved Your Life, aired to 11.2 million viewers, which is the second most viewed telecast
I don't remember.
in
What was it?
Nickelodeon
I don't remember. What was
history.
it? Please
you would
show me
think
something.
Miranda and Jeanette were on top of the world,
Damn
but a
it.
decade later, we would find out the horrors going on behind the scenes. In Jeanette's memoir that was released in 2022, she describes the grim experience working with the creator, which many
The
have interpreted to be Dan
creator.
Schneider. McCurdy wrote that the creator was mean-spirited, controlling, and terrifying, firing children over basic mistakes and making grown men and women cry with his insults and degradation. You can see a glimpse of this alleged behavior as Dan often walked around the set with his own personal camera, filming behind-the-scenes content to share on his personal blog, danwarp.com.
I didn't even know he
Stop
did
laughing at
this.
the director. Show some respect, Jeanette. Respect. No smiling. All right. Take $100 off her check.
And he mean
Although
that
it seems
shit.
like he is just joking, knowing what Jeanette was feeling inside drastically changes the perspective of a clip like this.
It definitely
Jeanette
does.
also made major accusations that Schneider supplied minors with alcohol, quoting him as saying, "The Victorious kids get drunk together all the time. The iCarly kids are so wholesome. We need to give you guys a little edge." This allegation may have been corroborated by the actor who portrayed Beck on Victorious, who posted a TikTok that read, "When you don't remember the plot line to a single Victorious episode, but you remember going out partying every night." Jeanette even claimed that Dan would provide unsolicited shoulder massages or demand others to give him massages, to which Dan admitted to.
Let's talk about the massages.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today.
At least he admitted it was wrong. At least he admitted it was wrong. Motherfuckers don't want to forgive, and they be the most sinful. Y'all are not perfect by any means. I promise you are worse. You are not a good person. You are not a good person. I hate when people just walk around thinking they're a good person. God does not look at you as a good person, but you must believe in his son, Jesus Christ. But you are not a good person. Do you understand? Naturally, your biology, naturally, just off the birth, not a good person. Most likely you will fall into sin. It is reality. This man, sinners, killers, drug dealers, all this type, rapists, molesters, all these categories and names that you want to judge. You love judging, don't you? It's human nature. You want to
I'm
judge
embarrassed
so
that I did it
bad.
then.
Look at
I
your own
apologize to
life. It
anybody
ain't as
that
worse
ever
as
put in that
his.
situation.
It's not the point, brother.
And even additionally,
That's not the
I
point.
apologize to
You
the people
apologize?
who were walking around.
And guess what? You are forgiven. Simple
in
like
the
that.
village or
You're
wherever
forgiven.
they happen,
People
because
do
there are
not.
lots
People do not want to forgive, but believe me, when you need to be forgiven, it's gonna get real dangerous for you, Squiddy.
of people there who
You
witnessed it
need
who
that?
also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Looking back on some of the behind-the-scenes content
forgiven,
with
brother.
new context, many perceive Dan to be too handsy and touchy. Look at how Miranda steps away from Dan and he
Now hear me out though, right? Too handsy and too touchy. Now if he wasn't who he was in that moment, in those moments, him just giving hugs to the kids would have been completely normal. But because we know about the backstory, now it's weird. But it was normal at the time because genuinely that's normal.
proceeds to make his way around her back and hugs her from behind as she seemingly freezes up. However, still to this day, Miranda has never spoken out against Dan
That's what I said. So it was not weird to her. They had a really good connection. That's what I'm saying.
Schneider,
So it's
so we
like
don't know if she truly had any traumatic experience
It's good that the mother was hovering around though, but because the mother was really always around Miranda, he wasn't able to, you mean?
Experiences working under him. However, we do know that Icarly was the foundation of Miranda and Jeanette's friendship, even though Jeanette's mother tried everything she could to prevent it. Jeanette writes, on set, Miranda said cuss words like shit and ass, and she took the Lord's name in vain at least 50 times a day. Mom warned me not to get too close to Miranda.
Wait, what? Is she lying?
Because she doesn't believe in God. Jeanette explained how her mother skewed her view of female friendships since she would cast them in a negative light.
My mom was always saying, men will never really know you and they'll hurt you, but women will know you deeply and then they'll hurt you. You tell me which is worse.
As a result, Jeanette was cautious around other girls, but by now she was a teenager. And even her mother's manipulative tactics couldn't prevent her from getting close with Miranda. Miranda and I spent hours talking every day. Even though in person Miranda seemed shy and quiet, she had a distinct and hilarious personality through her written words. So many of the things she said made me laugh. Her way of observing things, people, habits, human nature. I loved her, and I was so excited we were becoming friends. Jeanette kept the dark reality of her home life a secret. She hid it from Miranda, and from everyone. So the fact that her and Miranda truly became friends eliminated the idea that it could have been out of pity. It was genuine.
My best friend is Jeannette McCurdy, who was on iCarly with me, and we live really close to each other, and we have sleepovers all the time, and like I literally see her like every other day.
I'm very grateful for that friendship. It did provide me a lot of comfort in those really challenging years. My relationship with Miranda was hugely healing to my concept of women.
Jeanette's time spent with Miranda provided some much-needed relief from her chaotic personal life. Sadly, it was only temporary, as their journeys were about to go in very different directions after the end of iCarly.
The atmosphere literally couldn't be better. It's like one huge family. We all get along great. I can't think of any group of people that I'd rather get to see every day. And even though I'll see them all the time, knowing that I won't see everybody every day anymore is awful.
At the height of her fame, Miranda earned $180,000 per episode of iCarly, and she was going to use that money to fund her next venture. Jeanette, on the other hand, doesn't know what happened to the money.
Did you get to keep this money, or did I'm curious about like the dynamic of how that worked.
Well, there's a thing called the Coogan account that actually takes, or is supposed to take 15% of your money off the top and kind of put it into the child's account so that they can have at least 15% of their money by the time they're 18, and the rest of the money is kind of up for grabs. Got these papers that were saying that like the Coogan account information was never properly filed. I got that in my 20s, so that was kind of a little bit of a shock because I really have no idea kind of what was happening, and my mom was in control of everything.
Robbing the hell out of her.
I don't think I ever saw the Coogan account money.
Additionally, Miranda released chart-topping music, performed concerts nationwide, and received several major brand deals. Cosgrove got to reap all of the benefits of being a child star, seemingly without being exposed to the horrors that come with it. And that's largely due to her parents refusing to fall victim to the complexities of raising a famous kid. After iCarly ended its 6th season, Miranda decided not to pursue a full-time Hollywood career. Instead of securing more mature roles and trying to prove herself in the industry, she decided to use her acting money to pay for college.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna still be living with my parents for a while because I want to go to USC really bad. So,
oh, you do?
Yeah, and it's not far from where I live.
Okay. And why do you want to go to college? You're already very wealthy, and I see no reason to get an education. It's just how I look at it.
My dad went to USC, so he wants me to go there really bad.
Did your dad have a hit show on Nickelodeon when he was a kid?
No.
No?
No, he's not drinking.
And what do you want to study when you go there?
I'm not sure. I was thinking film. That's what I'm really
all
interested
right.
in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it all fits in the whole
Yeah,
deal.
they have a good film department too.
Miranda did end up attending the University of Southern California, where she switched majors several times before landing on psychology. She even admitted that her fame helped her make new friends on campus, but her fame also made her a target, as she had multiple stalkers who got dangerously close to her. A crazy fan named Joshua Stockton allegedly started tracking Cosgrove's every move using clues from social media posts.
This look like some shit you would see on a damn show, a damn stalker. Look at him. Look at him. He don't even look. He looks like a character. He don't even look
According to
real.
TMZ, he reportedly went to her campus at USC to see her. He also sent Miranda gifts and later got upset because the packages returned unopened. He also tweeted a photo of his bandaged wrist with the caption, "Frankly, I'm tired of love, and my heart is ready to give out. Maybe I'll finish the job I started." She was granted a restraining order against the crazy fan, but then 1 year later, he violated it as he followed her on a trip to Disneyland.
Bro, it ain't
Joshua
even that
Stockton was given 3
serious,
years
bro.
probation and will be required to complete a 1-year treatment program,
Ain't even
including
that
extensive
serious.
psychiatric
That
counseling.
nigga must have been a
As
fan
if
of the
this wasn't
show.
scary enough, Miranda had a close call with another stalker who nearly took her life.
We saw some movie, and then afterwards it was raining, and it never hardly ever rains in LA. So I was kind of like, I don't want to go back to my place, even though my place is pretty close to Arclight. Anyway, I went to my parents' house, and then I got a call at like 3 in the morning that somebody had like died at my house, and it was the weirdest thing ever because they had like caution tape up, and it was right in my front yard. And basically, I guess a guy came and he was like burying things in my backyard for like 3 days. He buried a lunchbox with like a milk chocolate inside of it in my backyard, and then he buried like knives and like a rope and like a
bro,
bunch
it
of
ain't
random
even
stuff.
that
I found out later
serious.
that like all that stuff was there.
Damn, it ain't even that, bro. Carly, what's her? Miranda's good milk. She good milk, but a nigga got that, like, bro, what nigga? Go to the fuck, like, bro.
And that he had been like pacing
It
my
is
backyard with a
not
gun.
that
He
serious.
also looked like crazy, like he was wearing like this long trench coat. But yeah, he was just like pacing in my backyard, I guess. And
Oh my
because I have
goodness,
like
the
security cameras,
weak.
so later when we looked, we figured out he was back there for like 6 hours or something, like waiting. And then somebody drove up that had a similar car, like that kind of looked like my car, and I guess he got confused and he thought that maybe it was me driving up. It's just like bad luck. And he like shot at this person like 6 times, and he missed because she was in a car. She drove away, and then he set himself on fire and he shot himself simultaneously. And then later,
Well-
so I got a call at like 3 or 4 in the morning. This happened probably at like 1 in the morning. I got a call
He
at
set
like 3 or
himself on
4 in
fire,
the
shot-
morning saying like,
Bro, I
where are
think-
you? Like, can you come like to your house because someone like
I think that was a blessing.
And they were trying to just like put it
Yeah,
all
I was
together,
with you.
and they still haven't really put it all together, why it happened or
The
like what the
weirdo.
person was
What do you
doing. And then
think
it was
you
crazy
are?
too. They found like his car like a few blocks away, and there was like blood and like hair in the trunk, and they were like, oh, he's probably a serial killer. But they never figured out exactly like the story.
Although this experience would probably
What?
lead to lifelong trauma from others, Miranda was more upset that he prevented her from meeting new friends.
But so a couple days before the incident with the guy that came to my house, I had never met the guy before, but he came to my house, and this was years ago too, and tried to kill me. So 2 days before that happened, I had the study group at my house.
Does Miranda got a
And
man?
The whole time I was inside trying to get these girls to think I was cool and like me and want me to be in the group, this guy was actually in my backyard with a gun, pacing back and forth in my backyard the entire
Ready to
time.
wild out.
While
And
all the
I-
girls were there?
Yes, with me and all the girls studying. And me bringing food
Nigga
in.
tweaked out, horny as hell.
How did
to
you
win
find
them
out?
over. Because later, when everything
People really don't understand how powerful male testosterone is, man. And because it's so dialed down in this world, which is why men are weak and why women are basically in charge in the court systems, everything almost literally. Bro, when imagine, I'm going to tell y'all like this. If everybody stopped watching porn and the testosterone started to fill up in a man and he became a complete man again, I'm going to tell you, this society would, yeah. What is a woman going to say? Oh, I want to cook it. I want to do this, that, and the third. Slap. Oh, I want to do this, that, and the third. No, you can't. I'm bigger and I'm stronger. Goodbye. Oh, I want to. No, I don't care. I don't condone hitting women. What I'm trying to explain to you is all that chit chat is dead. If every man got his testosterone, that's why porn is free. That's why it's everywhere. That's why sexuality is so pushed, because that's the only thing that could weaken a man. It's the most powerful force. So yeah, if every man gained his testosterone back, it literally would be over. It's over. Like it would be a new world. To be honest with you, women would be happier. Men would be happier. More relationships would be formed. More relationships would be kept, because it was actually very shamed upon and very bad if a woman just upped and left. She couldn't do that. That wasn't a thing. Oh, so she should be in an unhappy relationship? Most women leave happy relationships. They just leave. I've heard too many stories. They just leave, bro, because the grass looks green on the other side, or this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
happened and the police came, they checked the security
But it
footage.
is what it is, right?
And so
Yeah.
2 days before, he had already been there.
While you were first trying to like have friends, there was a man with a gun in your backyard.
And then the police
Horny
had
as
to
hell.
call all of the girls because for a
Pacing,
split second,
back and forth with a gun.
because they didn't know who he was, so they were trying to figure out his identity. So they called all the girls thinking maybe it was one of their ex-boyfriends or somehow related to them. And
You're like,
all
please
of
don't call my friends. Please don't call my friends.
I was like, please just leave them out of this. They don't have to know. They don't have to be a part of this. I don't really know them anymore.
They were. Well, how do you think? They're like, we went in our house once and we almost died.
With the exception of the stalkers, Cosgrove regained a sense of normalcy in the real world, while McCurdy stayed trapped inside the Nickelodeon hellscape.
Hey, Dan Schneider. I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Fine. Look what you've done to me.
In August of 2012, Schneider took a fan favorite from Icarly, Sam Puckett, and a fan favorite from Victorious, Cat Valentine, and created a teen sitcom titled Sam and Cat. The pilot debuted on Nickelodeon
Was
to
that a good show?
4.2 million viewers and was surprisingly popular, but it only lasted one season and was canceled following controversy behind the scenes. You see, Jeanette says that Schneider originally promised a show centered around her Sam Puckett character. So are you excited to have your own show? The creator asks. Sure, that's it? No, of course I'm excited. I'm so excited. Good. Because I could give a new show to anyone, you know? But I didn't choose anyone. I chose you. But Dan's promises were empty, as the solo show turned into a sort of buddy comedy alongside Ariana Grande. Jeanette and Ariana just barely tolerated each other, mostly because of Schneider's manipulative tactics and the obvious favoritism towards Ariana.
My co-star Ariana Grande is a burgeoning pop star who misses work regularly to go sing at award shows, record new songs, and do press for her upcoming album, while I stay back and angrily hold down the fort. I understand on a surface level why she has these work, but at the same time, I don't understand why she's allowed to. I booked 2 features during Icarly that I had to turn down because the Icarly team wouldn't write me out of episodes to go shoot them. Then this week happened. The week where I was told Ariana would not be here at all, and that they would write around her absence this episode by having her character be locked in a box. Are you kidding? So I have to turn down movies while Ariana's off whistle-toning at the Billboard Music Awards?
Snapping, too.
Ariana misses work in pursuit of her music career, while I act with a box. If I wasn't such a good sport, I wouldn't be in this predicament in the first place. I wouldn't be on this shitty show saying these shitty lines on this shitty set with this shitty hairstyle. I'm pissed about it. And I'm pissed
Freddie
at her.
was in this show?
Jealous of her.
It's easy to see how Jeanette built up resentment towards her co-star. Every time something exciting happens to her, I feel like she robbed me of having that experience myself. As if Jeanette's internal struggle wasn't hard enough, her mother Deborah passed away losing her battle with breast cancer. Near the end of her life, Deborah wrote Jeanette a shocking email containing things that no mother should ever say to her child.
Dear Net, I am so disappointed in you. You used to be my perfect little angel, but now you are nothing more than a little, all caps, floozy, all used up. And to think, you wasted it on that hideous ogre of a man. I saw the pictures on a website called TMZ.
Ogre, you talking about Andre Drummond? What we
Saw
talking
you
about?
rubbing his disgusting hairy stomach. I knew you were lying about Colton. I had told her I was with a friend, Colton. Add that to the list of things you are. Liar, conniving, evil. You look pudgier too. It's clear you're eating your guilt. Thinking of you with his ding-dong inside of you makes me sick. Sick. I raised you better than this. What happened to my good little girl? Where did she go? And who is this monster that has replaced her? You're an ugly monster now. I told your brothers about you, and they all said they disown you just like I.
Man, you know that mama is pissed, bro. Telling you, man. Come on, man. Like, man.
We want nothing to do with you. Love, Mom. Or should I say Deb, since I am no longer your mother. P.S. Send money for a new fridge. Ours broke.
Losing a parent is already hard, but what about losing an abusive parent that wholeheartedly admitted they want nothing to do with you? As you can imagine, this sent Jeanette's life into a dark place. To compound the stress, McCurdy was the victim of an invasion of privacy when explicit selfies of her surfaced on the internet, which ultimately led to Nickelodeon canceling Sam and Cat, claiming both actresses desired to move on to other projects. Following her mother's passing, Jeanette began to struggle with an eating disorder as well as an addiction to alcohol.
As the show was airing, her mother died of cancer. Jeanette says her life was spinning out of control, anorexia morphing into bulimia and alcohol abuse.
I was never aiming for bulimia. I was attempting to have anorexia, but I couldn't keep it up without my mom. So then that would lead to, I'd starve myself for so long, and then I'd binge, and then I'd purge because I hated the feeling of fullness. Hated it.
But Jeanette remained strong. She was not going to let her trauma destroy the rest of her
Golly, that
life.
sounds
She
so
first
bad.
sought professional help for her eating disorder.
I started with an eating disorder specialist, so it was very clinical, and we didn't get into trauma or childhood stuff. We didn't get into any of that, and I think I needed that at the time because I think I needed to get that addiction under control before being able to go anywhere near like excavating the stuff from the past. I think that would have fueled the addiction if I were working on that in tandem with the addiction.
Jeanette knew that addressing and treating the critical aspect of her health was going to be hard enough. So once that treatment helped her regain her strength, then it was time to dive into the complexities of her childhood.
First therapist Laura started asking questions about my mom. Immediately I went into, well, she did this, but it's because she's such a good mom. It's because she wanted me to be successful. It's because she wanted me to have a better life. Like, I didn't even realize that I was at the time, but in retrospect I see, oh, I was disclaiming every single thing that my mom did instead of just stating the reality or how I felt about it. I was more concerned with how to keep my mom looking good than I was with expressing my true emotional reality.
Jeanette's journey to restoring her health and well-being was not something that a few therapy sessions would fix, and even after she has spent years working at it, it never truly goes away. Jeanette decided to retire from acting in 2016. However, she did write and direct a few short films that are very much inspired by her childhood, but nobody truly knew the severity of her deep emotional hardships until she released her 2022 memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. The shocking title doesn't necessarily mean Jeanette is celebrating her mother's death, but it does reflect her complicated emotions, grief, relief, and the pain of losing someone who also caused her harm. Her mom's passing meant the end of her control and abuse, finally giving Jeanette the chance to heal. The reality is, mourning an abusive parent isn't always simple. Sometimes sadness and relief exist at the same time, and millions of people around the world supported Jeanette's vulnerability. Putting something this deep and complicated out to the world is not easy. Her memoir sold over 200,000 copies across all formats in its first week, and as of today, she has sold over 2 million copies.
80 weeks, #1, baby.
Oh, I remember this.
I'm scared. I don't like blood.
Somebody said she looked weird or something. Somebody says somebody turned this into something. Like, I don't.
I'm scared. Okay.
Oh, she it was like trauma or something. Like the sound, and she didn't like it.
I hate. This is a bad idea. I hate loud noises.
Around the same
She need a man. That's what she need, bro. I'm telling you, bro, this world will burn. She needs a masculine man to help her. Why does she got a dude? She don't need to be alone. Fuck out of here. She needs love.
Same time, Paramount Plus also announced the plan to make a reboot of Icarly.
I swear, motherfuckers are really sitting out here. It's so crazy how, oh, it's so scary. A man is literally a cure for so many things. So many things. Like, she's a woman. I don't understand, y'all. Fucking weird.
We're disappointed to learn that Jeanette would not be reprising her role as Sam Puckett.
I just want to make things again.
I'm in hell with this.
You don't-
Yes, Jeanette McCurdy reveals in an interview in Washington Post that she has been in a healthy, loving relationship for the past 6 years. Yay!
Yeah, I don't need a partner. I need Sam. But she's off following her bliss with that biker gang.
The Obliterators. Hope she's okay.
It's Sam. I hope they're okay.
When Jeanette said she was done with acting definitively, and the baggage that came with it, she meant it, but her castmates respected her decision.
And we all really wanted Jeanette to be a part of the show in real life, but she's just doing other things, and we're really happy for her. But yeah, we're definitely going to touch on that in the show.
Is the elevator door still open that if Jeanette wanted to come back as Sam for an episode,
Hell
could that
yeah.
happen?
Anytime.
I mean, that elevator door is always open.
Hell yeah.
It never closed. But again, we want to be respectful of her and
Hell
the
yeah.
decisions that we made. So obviously, no pressure, of course, but whatever she wants to do.
She's a
We
really
love
good
her.
actor.
That's all she needs.
She's
to know.
Not only did Jeanette not return to the show that made fans around the world love her, she said she wouldn't even watch it because of the demons it might bring back. And although it's
that's true.
heartbreaking that the thing that fans around the world fell in love with her for is the exact same thing that caused her so much pain and suffering, it is comforting to know that she does still cherish one part about her time as a child actor, and that is her friendship that she made.
If she ever does watch the show or come back, I feel like that's when we'll know, like, wow, she might be fully healed. I don't know though. I'm not sure. I don't know how this trauma stuff works.
with Miranda Cosgrove.
Oh my god, I love Miranda to pieces. I always will. She has such a special place in my heart. She helped me grow as a person and heal as a person, and I hope I did the same for her, and I just love her so much.
Okay, shout out Patrick Cece, man. His voice is soothing. Jared Trainer, the actor who plays Spencer, will spend his days off at the studio to keep an eye on the kids to make sure they were safe. Is Jeanette, is she like anything recent with her? How old is she? 32. Wow. Hopefully
On
she's
the set
healed,
of the
man.
most-
Hopefully everything good. She's in a relationship, so hopefully that dude's a good masculine dude, a good figure for her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm out of here.
You actually finished my video. I don't know if you watched a lot or a little, but I appreciate you. I'm gonna see you on the next video. I'm out.